Hello everyone. Today I'm with amazing Kate Cherry from which is an independent consultant from Arbonne. The reason why I wanted to interview her is because I think we have been under a massive amount of stress over the last year. Guess why? And I really think that our skin can be affected enormously by the stress, by what we eat, by how we feel. And I also think it's really important to carry on with our skincare routine and some healthy habits. But I wanted to ask a real expert. And so welcome, Kate. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to introduce yourself? And I know that many people in my networking know you already, but I would like you to introduce yourself once again and tell us more about what you do.
Yes, I'm making notes as we're talking because you keep reminding me different things we can talk about. But hello, yes, my name is Kate Cherry. I'm what we call an independent consultant with a wonderful company called Arbonne International. So we are a plant-based vegan skincare, nutrition, well-being company. So we help people with healthy living from the inside out with the aim of supporting a healthy mind, body and skin. So they're our main missions. We're a B Corporation, have been for the last, I think it's a year now. And what that means, it's continuing our mission and strengthening our certifications to prove that as a company, we balance people, planet and profit, which is very difficult for larger companies to do because often historically in capitalist countries, profit is the bottom line. But our founder 40 years ago felt that it was incredibly important not only to support people, which is why we can only be found through someone like me or Stefania, but that also we're looking after the world we live in, so the planet. So all our ingredients are sustainably sourced. We've got all sorts of certifications around toxins and purity of ingredients and where they come from. So it's great to have that kind of ethos as an umbrella, that everything we do is to either help people or the planet.
Fantastic. So do you agree with me that stress can affect our skin? And if you do, what do you suggest to do to contrast the stress and the tension and take care of our skin?
Yeah, I do. I do believe. I mean, just look at teenagers. When teenagers get stressed, what happens? They break out. Literally, that term, break out, it's usually associated with something happening. Like, if you've ever been on holiday and your skin goes lovely on holiday because you're in the sun and it's like, oh, my skin is great in the summer. And then as soon as you come back, maybe a week or two later, you have a honeymoon phase and then you start getting spots again. And it's just because your skin's got thinner and more sensitive naturally through the environment. So, and the temperature you're in, and just that's what the skin does. So if you can imagine adding in stressors to that, whether they are cigarettes, alcohol, diet, or what's going on around you, air conditioning, being inside a lot as opposed to outside and inside, but also all the hormonal releases due to stress and worrying. It's gonna. I know we're going to talk about nutrition in a little bit, but what goes on in your gut shows on the skin at the end of the day. So I know that many people tend to want to put a band-aid on it. So the purpose of doctors and hospitals and medication is you've got to a certain point that you need a band-aid, as we say, so something needs curing. But I think more and more we need to start thinking about how to stop getting that way in the first place. And there are more natural ways. I say that because I used to be in the sort of, no, use medication, what you're talking about using plants. But actually, once you understand the role of toxins versus nature on your body and how much power you have over how healthy your body, your skin and your mind are, I feel that as a global population, we need medical intervention less and less, but that it is a massive ball of string to unravel.
Fantastic. So what you said obviously lead me to the next question. So you believe that there is a relationship between our nutrition and our skin, and if so, can you talk us about the nutritional products from Arbonne and what they do for us, what they can do for us?
Absolutely. And I always like to, so we're a product-based company, But having done this for 7 years, I've become more and more passionate about, you know, the reason we exist and the reason we've got products. And so before talking about products, I want to talk about the body and how that, so there are two aspects to consider in your health and well-being. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about exercise and all of that, because that's actually quite a small proportion of our health and well-being, and it's external. So the things in terms of what goes in what we eat. So there's two factors: what we eat and what we eat. So what we consume and what we consume. I'll explain what I mean. So eating a lot of allergenic foods or processed foods and sugars has a detrimental impact over time on your body. So most diseases or dis-eases will generally come from lifestyle and what we've consumed over a long period of time, which we don't have time to talk about it here, but always makes me think about how we recommend for children, for example, drink your milk and eat your cereals, and that's healthy. But then later in life, it's like, oh yeah, no, don't eat and steer clear of wheat and maybe have less dairy. So it's interesting, that sort of dichotomy between what we recommend when you're young and what becomes an issue over time when you're older, right? Sensitivities. And the second is vitamins and minerals and and good fats and what your body needs to fuel itself. So more of the first one, allergenic foods, processed foods, sugars, means you need more of the second. So you're going to need more vitamins, minerals, good fats to help you digest and process the food you're consuming, and it puts your body under a lot of stress. And over a sustained time, more of the allergenic foods stress your system and affect your gut lining. And when your gut lining is affected, you're not absorbing the vitamins and minerals. If there is good, even if you've got a really healthy diet, I hear that a lot, you know, oh no, I eat really healthily anyway. You're going to need more vitamins and minerals because you're going to be using so many to process the bad foods, if you see what I mean. So so what we focus on and what our products are aimed at supporting is helping to get a healthy gut, a balanced gut. So what we talk about for the skin and the gut actually is pH. So your gut should be alkaline and your skin should be acidic. But I don't know about you, but where I live, the water's really hard. So generally we're walking around with skin that's off whack, and then that can show itself in dryness and things like that, patchiness, especially when people have problems and they go to just using water on their skin. Well, that's a completely different pH than what your skin needs to be, for example. And the gut needs to be alkaline, whereas things like dairy and wheat are acidic, believe it or not. It's strange, isn't it? But dairy is actually acidic for your gut. So it's what I'm saying overall is that you need balance, and you need to, it doesn't mean totally cut out certain things, but it means just be mindful of what's going in. And sometimes, very often, how you feel and what's going on in your skin is just an indicator of something going on inside. So it might be a good point to talk to a nutritional therapist. Yeah. So do you want me to touch on products though, that because that was your question?
Well, I'm sure there are lots of products, but this is a question I had for the skincare, but we can do it for the nutritional products as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe probably at the moment, especially women, have very little time to take care of themselves. You know, they are juggling once again, homeschooling, houseworking and everything else. And probably somehow also the mindset is not the best at the moment, because most of the women are thinking, why should I take care of myself when I'm not meeting anybody? I have nothing to go. I have nowhere to show myself. But I truly believe it is important. So what we can do is to give probably 3 top products to use, maybe. I know that ideally we should use more, but for a woman that at the moment have really no time for herself, what do you suggest to use? So maybe 3 top products from the skincare range, and maybe 1 or 2 products from the nutritional range.
Absolutely. And I would say the mindset is really important as well. And I'm reading a book at the moment about raising boys, because I have boys. And one of the things it said for single mums in particular, so it talks about how to look after your boys. And then the point for single mums is make sure you have time for you, because you're being everyone to those kids. So you're being a mum and a dad at the same time. So looking after yourself is incredibly important, and looking after your mind and what you really can control, which is in this situation, not a lot. You can only control what you think and what you do. So product wise, I would recommend that you're at least making sure you're cleansing your skin properly morning and evening. So we've got a couple of options, which is our anti-aging called Age Well. Actually, it's not anti-aging. We say healthy aging. So we're shifting our whole perspective on beauty, and it's about health. We're all going to age, right? It's exactly what you help people with styling. Don't fight. We're going to age. We just need to adapt certain things. So healthy aging cleanser, or we've got hypersensitive range, which is actually linked to the whole stress element. It's called Super Calm, and there's an Inner Calm supplement that goes with it to help. It's got ashwagandha in it, and it just helps calm your nervous system, because our nervous system, the more we worry and the more we do, is just wired, and it's not helping us. And so that's
we should all have it.
Yeah,
we should all have it.
I've started putting a scoop in my nighttime tea that way, because it's quite a bland taste. It's peach green tea, so it's quite bland and not sugary, because we don't add sugars. So I just put it in my tea, and it's lovely. I would then say you just need a good moisturizer. And the benefit of having something in ranges such as Arbonne is most moisturizers on the high street contain something called mineral oil, and mineral oil is petrochemical, and actually it's counterintuitive. It blocks the skin, but it also sucks out the moisture in the skin. So people end up with that catch-22 of, I've got dry skin, I've got psoriasis, I've got eczema patches, and all it is really is you're not feeding your skin the same as feeding your body, you're not feeding your skin good food. So because our products are all plant-based, then it's feeding your skin at the same time. So whether it's the Age Well or Super Calm, and we've got some other ranges. And then the third one I would recommend is this rejuvenating cream from our Intelligence treatment range. And that is just really
rejuvenating. Rejuvenating.
Yes, it's so not rejuvenating in the same way as anti-aging, but it helps the skin heal. So I'm sure it's stress induced, but I get a little psoriasis patch up here, not that side, just that side. It's really weird. So after washing my hair, if it's there, I'll put some of that cream up in the hairline, and it's non-oily because it's plant oils, so it's kind of dry, so it doesn't make my hair greasy, and the patch just goes because it helps your skin heal and behave properly. It's great on scars and burns as well. So they're the skincare ones that I would recommend. But you want a couple of nutrition ones? I would say
yes, because I believe when just people, and then we talk about how to buy the products, but when people get into the Arbonne world for the first time, it can also, they have so many products that it can be a bit overwhelming. First of all, you would like to buy them all, but obviously you can't.
That's where you get a consultant ID and get them all cheaper.
Exactly. And once again, I think because probably we have very little time now, so I think it's important to have at least one or two products from the nutritional range as well in our cupboard. So maybe, give us your best tips.
Now, I'm studying nutrition at the moment because working with our healthy living plan that we have, 30 Days to Healthy Living, is created by nutritional therapists and doctors. So I've been learning from them for 7 years now, and I felt that I needed a bit more under my belt. So if I had longer, I would reel off different things, not even just Arbonne, that we need in our body, right? That we can't get through food anymore. And that's the whole point. We cannot get the vitamins and minerals we need through food these days because of farming methods, because we would just need to consume too much. It would be too calorific to get everything our body needs, especially like vitamin D. Arbonne don't have vitamin D, but everyone needs to be taking a vitamin D at the moment, and ideally with a K vitamin, because that helps it absorb better. But from an Arbonne perspective, I think the number one I would recommend is our Digestion Plus, and that is digestive enzymes, probiotics and prebiotics, and that helps the gut to Digestion Plus. It's going to help it digest and heal the gut lining. So if there was one thing people added to their diet, I would say that a couple of benefits people have had is on the skin. So I had one client who's put that on mute. whose son had really bad itchy eczema skin, and it's worse at night. So what we recommended was that, I say we, my nutritional therapist colleague and myself, was tell you what, take digestion. I would take it in the morning in my shake, but take it in the evening before bed, and because he couldn't sleep at night, and actually taking it over a week or two helped him sleep better. It helped the skin irritate less, which is crazy, isn't it? Because that's something you're taking inside, it's helping your skin. But it's a really good one that I think people should take for sure.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So let me think. I wanted to ask you something else. So we talk about products. Well, for example, let me say, I use Arbonne mainly for what is the makeup for my clients. Obviously, I am a customer myself. I first became a client, and then I started using Arbonne with my clients. So I can absolutely give a good word, an amazing word about the skincare range. I use I'm using the new one, and it's absolutely stunning. The Age Well, yes. And then for my clients, I use all the makeup range, because everyone has a different kind of skin and different colors. And I, as a stylist, I work with colors myself, so it's absolutely good to have all the colors range, from the skin to the eyeshadows to the lipsticks. And and I also wanted to say, I see lots of people that suffers with skin conditions. So they probably, most of them have rosacea, but they can have other kind of reactions to other foundations they have used in the past, and so they decided not to use them anymore. And when they come to me, I convince them to try at least a CC cream, for example, for their skin, and they have an amazing result, and evening exactly. Is moisturizing, and is also have a sort of cover effects, although it's not a foundation, and people never had a single trouble with it. So I believe also the makeup range is really something that is worth to be discovered. And I know even at the moment, women don't really bother, putting on makeup. But I think from my side, if we can choose 3 easy and very fast, tricks with the makeup, especially if we have an online meeting, but also, let me say, if we want to feel good with ourselves and look at the mirror and feel a bit less drained and a bit more lifted up. So I absolutely recommend the concealer for our, for under the eye, because we are all tired and we all can have a bit more, darkness under the eye. So it's good to use the concealer. And if you don't want to use the foundation, at least use a bit of blush, and blush to give a bit more of color to your cheeks. And also a bit of mascara. And I have lots of people saying that Arbonne mascara is wonderful and is long lasting and is amazing. And the last thing, if you want, use a bit of lipstick. Again, there are lots of colors. Yes, even just a lip gloss, it just makes you feel a bit more, again, lifted up and confident. So it's really important. So last question. No, I have 2 more questions, sorry. One is, how can people buy Arbonne products? Because we know that it's not possible, we cannot find it on the high streets. So how can we buy Arbonne products?
So the main way to buy Arbonne products, the only way to buy Arbonne products, is through introduction by someone like us. So there are 3 ways to buy products. You can either buy them full price on the website, 20% off as a preferred client, which costs £10 to get 20% off for the year, and you get things like free delivery, free products, depending on your order. Or the third way, which is what I chose to do, which is as an independent consultant. That costs £30, and you get 35% off minimum all the products. And there is no pressure to build a business. You can just do that to buy the products. But what it means is you get your own microsite, like your stefaniabartolome.arbonne.com. I'm katecherry.arbonne.com. And it means that anyone who orders on your website and attaches to you as client, you get the thank you. Because we're, instead of investing money in advertising, the company invests money in the people who recommend the products. So we all recommend things every day, except generally we don't get paid for it. And so the difference is, I will say, oh my God, this skin conditioning oil is amazing for little patches of breakout, of dryness or whatever on cuticles. And if someone chooses to go and buy that, the company knows, because it was linked to me, that I recommended it, and thank me financially the following week. So we're paid weekly on that. And that's how people build a business with the company. So it's just word of mouth, which is what we do for everything anyway these days, especially when you look at social media. And so it's just a sort of natural way to grow a customer base online, if you like. So they're the three ways. I tend to set my customers up myself online just to help them do it, but absolutely they can go and find the website and order themselves. But I tend to like to make sure they've got all the right discounts and best value for money before we press go.
Fantastic. And my very last question, I promise, is, I know you have listed and mentioned it already, many reasons to go for Arbonne,
Yeah.
But if you could choose 3 top reasons why people should go for Arbonne, or 3 top things that really makes Arbonne so special and unique, what would that be?
You know what? I didn't prepare that one, but what comes straight to mind is I just have to come back to our mission, and then I'll touch on how it's affected me. So the first one I'd like to say is that there was a phrase, many people say to me, why isn't this bigger? Why aren't we advertising? Why isn't there much more noise about this company if it's so great? And we're not about being the best in the world. We're about being the best for the world. And I love that, because it's
I love it too.
numbers. It's about how many people's lives we can affect. So we're not about mass selling, mass producing, all of that. And although, yes, absolutely, one day we'd love to be number 1 in the world, but for the right reasons, okay? And the second is exactly our mission. It's about looking after your mind, your body and skin. And over the last 7 years, I have, starting out being someone leaving corporate who just wanted an income instead of getting a part-time job, I've now developed to, oh my God, the testimonials I get back from the people I help. And we know each other through networking, the things people say in those meetings, that how I've helped them, that I don't even realize, and I don't have time to go through here. It makes me think, if I wasn't here to offer that to them, like, A, they wouldn't have the help, and B, why would I walk away from doing that? And the third thing is how it's helped me and my family. So exactly what I just said. I wanted to leave a big, stressful corporate job. I had the money, I had the kudos, I traveled the world, but it didn't balance anymore with my children who were about to leave primary school. And a part-time local job wouldn't have cut it either, because I may as well just commute an extra half hour and earn a ton more in London. So it's allowed me to be present. It's a personal development process as well, because you learn about yourself, you read a lot, learn a lot of leadership skills and communication skills. And so it's just, I know that if you ask my children and my husband, me today versus me back then when I was in a big corporate job, which one they want, they'd say me now. And that for me is the biggest thing.
Fantastic. So how can people get in touch with you if they like to know more about Arbonne or about you?
Well, I'd say they can come through you firstly, or if they want to specifically ask me a question, then on Facebook I am Kate Cherry, Arbonne Independent Consultant, I think, my business page. On LinkedIn I'm Kate Cherry, and I have another business, so you'll see that one listed as well, probably first. And then I'm on Instagram as well, the Kate Cherry, all in one, because someone else had taken Kate Cherry. How dare they?
The Kate, and you are unique, so the Kate Cherry, we love it. And finally, I don't know, if you want to add anything else, any other tips from your side, feel free to share.
My tips, okay, I'm gonna talk about the mind then, is that with everything going on at the moment, the only thing we can control is our actions and how we think, and our feelings come from what we're thinking, how we're thinking. So we have way more control over how we feel at the moment than we think, to repeat the word. And there's a saying, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's what you do next. So it's just I know there's a lot of talk about being mindful, but look after yourself, look after your body, and be conscious of the habits you've got into. Are they good habits through the pandemic? Are they maybe habits taking you a little bit down that health curve and that mindset curve? Are you finding yourself saying negative things or thinking negative things? You have the power of switching that and making yourself feel better. And of course, you have the power of using beautiful, healthy stuff to help you along the way. But mostly, try and, I know it's cliche, but try and remain positive and think positive and smile and watch Michael McIntyre, watch a comedy, get yourself laughing. That's going to be really good.
You know what? I did it. I watched Michael McIntyre during the first lockdown. Well, my mood was a bit low. And it made me laugh so much, especially the sketches about parents and children, because I could see myself, you know, and it really made me laugh. And I told my husband, this is what I needed. You know, I really need a genuine laugh coming from within. So thank you for your tips. We really loved it. Thank you for being my guest today, and I'm sure many people will enjoy your tips, and many more people will get in touch for Arbonne products.
Can I do one more thing, which I completely forgot? Sorry, this is going to look strange.
My t-shirt.
So talking about ethics and the planet, this is a t-shirt Stefania had made with, so you can see her business name there, one of a style, and she had it made with, is it Happy Fern, isn't it, with Gosha, and so it's sustainable, and you can send it back instead of giving it to charity when you don't want it anymore. And so it's a collaboration, and I love this t-shirt, and I was meant to show it. I forgot.
Thank you so much. It looks amazing on you. Yes, it's 100%. It's made 100% recycled cotton, made in the UK. So you know it's also sustainable on many levels and ethical. And yes, it's been realized by two small businesses. Sorry. I'm emotional now. Two small businesses. One is me, and one is Happy Fern, which is a brand new clothing brand that realizes everything in recycled cotton for men, women, and children too. So thank you for this, Kate, and I hope many.
happyfern.com or .co.uk? I can't remember. Happy Fern.
I think it's .co.uk. Yes. Yeah. So good point. The t-shirt is can be bought on Happy Fern website. Thank you.
Hey, small businesses collaborating. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love
it. All right. Bye, Kate. Bye, everyone. And take care of yourself.
And you too. Bye.